On Sunday, on the occasion of Ram Navami, several people, including police personnel, were injured in a Ram Navami procession that came under attack. The stone pelting started at the very beginning of the procession, leaving around 4 people injured, including a police inspector. A day later, the Shivraj government, in an attempt to set an example, bulldozed the houses and shops of those they believe to be behind the violence. Multiple establishments that were said to be illegal were razed to the ground. 48 hours later, there is a massive controversy over it. In fact, Owaisi has come out and said that not only is it illegal, but in fact, the action is Islamophobic. The opposition has acted its own twist to the entire crackdown. The debate remains over whether this was an overreaction by the Shivraj government and the administration. The angle being taken, in fact, Rahul Gandhi has said that this is only an expression of hate, something that was echoed by Owaisi.
The hate and hate perpetrated against the Muslim minority is consistent with the ideology of Sangh Parivar. And I happened to read a book wherein Golwarkar, the Sar Sanchalak himself, has said that he was the one who started these procession, and he was the one who took this dhol in his hand and started beating it when this procession started in front of a masjid. So this is very consistent. And whatever has happened, those statements which have been made in front of the police through loudspeakers, what does that tell the whole country? You know, because these people have been emboldened. These people know for sure that the government of the day is there to protect them. Yes, you might question me, what about Rajasthan? What about Jharkhand? Yes, Sangh Parivar is still prevalent over there. No one can deny that fact. Under what law can you demolish a house, assuming that they are right for a while, which they are not right? Under what law? You are violating not only our Indian law, but you are also violating the Geneva Convention. How can you give a collective punishment to the whole community just because they say that stone pelting happened? Then why do we have courts? Why do we have the police? If the government of the day becomes the judge and jury, then what will happen to rule of law?
The BJP, however, is very clear. Both the state government and the BJP at the center has said no laws were broken. The rule of law has been upheld, and people who were actually encroaching on government land have now been penalized. It also so happens that they were also involved in the stone pelting.
अच्छा, आपको क्या लगता है कि ये इस तरह के जो क्रिमिनल्स हैं, उनके क्रिमिनल्स पर कम्युनल जो है वो कील ठोक करके उनको सुरक्षा दी जाए? ये क्रिमिनल्स जो है वो किसी समाज के या किसी धर्म के दुश्मन नहीं है, पूरे के पूरे जो है वो देश के दुश्मन होते हैं और उस पर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए.
All right, so very clear face-off there happening, whether this is the rule of law or is it an Islamophobic act. Joining us now on the debate, we in fact have Charu Pragya of the BJP. We also have Sandeep Ghosh, political analyst, Raghav Awasthi, and we have Mita Chakraborti. Mita Chakraborti, if a bulldozer is being used against offenders, how is it Islamophobic?
Okay, first of all, we are getting to see this strange brand of bulldoze politics from the Madhya Pradesh government. We are not a banana republic. We still have a judiciary system. We still have a legal system. There has to be a fact-finding mission. Facts need to be established. The court needs to decide on the quantum of punishment. You had around 73 people or more arrested in the last 24-48 hours. So they need to be produced in a court, and for the judiciary system to punish them or to decide on the quantum of punishment.
Judiciary will decide who is a criminal, not your government, Charu Pragya.
And if I can just quickly complete my point.
Yes.
We now have a government who says sometimes the opinion that is being put forward is that these are illegal constructions.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, the state government is responsible for maintaining communal harmony, for maintaining law and order in the state.
But
so
madam,
when you have a communally sensitive
have to do with the communal harmony. You're saying so in the interest of communal harmony, illegal constructions should be allowed to remain.
Go and bulldoze those properties? Do you choose this time? How is this time?
Okay, how is this style okay? Charu Pragya.
Those properties.
Charu Pragya.
Okay, Padmaja, first of all, they think communal harmony can only be maintained when stone pelters are allowed to go off scot-free. Communal harmony, according to them, can only be maintained when they practice politics of favoring one religion over the other repeatedly year after year. When we put a stop to this, they have a problem. Another point,
No one has a problem.
courts don't make the laws. Governments do, and the government has made a legitimate law which says that if you are going to damage private and public property, you will pay for it. And it's not the government which is going to bear the burden of this. And I will tell you the name of the law. It is the Damage to Public and Private Property Recovery Act. That's a legitimate act. आप please Google कर लीजिए और पढ़े लिखे जैसे लोगों की बात करिए. Another point. Yesterday and day before yesterday, we have heard about violent activities happening all over India, from Jharkhand to Gujarat to Madhya Pradesh to even Delhi. Not one violent activity was reported from the state of Uttar Pradesh, and that is because that state has adopted a zero tolerance policy towards writing and writers. Not one incident.
No, but Charu Pragya, then you know it happened in Madhya Pradesh where you are in government. It happened in Karnataka. Are you saying that Shivraj Singh Chauhan and S.R. Bommai, Basavaraj Bommai are bad chief ministers?
Exactly.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I am just saying that for a strong government, it is a great step forward. And I think every government, no government needs to tolerate the intolerates like this. No government needs to do that.
Okay. Raghav Awasthi wants to
come in?
Just a second, Raghav Awasthi.
Yeah, I just want to say a few things,
Yes, go on.
and specifically in the context of what Mr. Owaisi said.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Owaisi talked about the Geneva Convention. The Geneva Convention essentially deals with humanitarian treatment of combatants and non-combatants when two countries are at war.
Yes.
So it is a good thing that he has exposed what he truly thinks about Hindu-Muslim relations in India. He thinks Hindus and Muslims should be perpetually at war. It is a Freudian slip, and it is now very clear that he wants a civil war to happen in this country just so he can grab a slice of power.
Okay.
In this respect, he is no different from the likes of Muhammad Ali Jinnah or the likes of Ayman al-Zawahiri, who are also calling for civil war in India.
Okay. Serious charges,
That is the
Tawseefur
first
Rahman.
point.
That the bulldozer
second point
somehow
which needs
became
to be
about
emphasized
Islamophobia
is
and the Geneva
that this
Convention,
is
which
one
Raghav Awasthi
country.
says is akin to
Padmaja ji,
invoking
this
Jinnah.
is one country. There are no Muslim areas and Hindu areas.
Okay.
As a Hindu, as long as I am not causing trouble to anybody,
Can
I
I
have the right to
talk,
take out the
Padmaja?
procession anywhere.
Yes.
And if I am subjected to loudspeaker,
if sir
adhan on the
stops, then I
loudspeaker
can
5
just continue
times a
because
day,
you won't be able to
if
hear
I
what I
am
want to say.
subjected to it as a Hindu, I don't disrespect your right to do that.
Okay. Respond, Tawseefur Rahman.
Why is it that I am not allowed to take out a Ram Navami procession once a year?
Tawseefur Rahman, respond.
This is anti-Hindu
Padmaja,
apartheid.
Padmaja, if
Okay,
if the gentleman
okay.
just stops so I can
So
answer.
you've gone from Jinnah to nation theory. You were saying it's anti-Hindu apartheid. Respond, Tawseefur Rahman.
Padmaja, first of all,
Yes, it is
today I don't
anti-Hindu
want to
apartheid.
talk
Of
about
course, that is what it
equality,
is.
who has
There is
done
an
what,
area,
and the
I
court
can't go
should
there
do
and say Jai
justice
Shri
or
Ram.
the BJP should do
Just
justice.
because there are people
I
who
just
belong
want
to one
say
particular
one
religion
thing.
who are
When
living
this
there,
gentleman
if I say
cannot,
Jai
he
Shri
is
Ram, what
not
is so
letting me
offensive
speak,
to
how
them?
can I
I don't
speak?
understand.
Sir, please wait, I can heckle you badly.
I'm not
Please
asking you
wait,
to chant Jai
let me
Shri Ram
speak.
with me, but why can I not chant Jai Shri Ram?
Sir, wait, please. Padmaja, let me speak.
Yes, I'm waiting
So
now.
today is a very
Thank you.
sad day, Padmaja, whatever has happening. You know, I don't
I'm
want to do a
waiting.
blame game today. You know, I don't want to talk about Hindu and Muslims, but it's a very sad day that today when we celebrate Eid, Diwali, Durga Puja, Kali Puja, Ganesh Chaturthi, nothing happens. Why? Especially during Ram Navami, all these things happening. I want to know who is behind this, who want to malign the image of our Hindu brothers. Today, I'm really so emotional that I'm already in tears because I'm so tired during the month of Ramzan. And I don't want to cry, Padmaja, but during the month of Ramzan, you people, I mean, the BJP is allowing their ministers to run bulldozers over Muslims' house for what? I mean, for what? I mean, the same thing happened in Karoli. 24 shops were burned. And again, the whole blame came for Muslims that they are doing this propaganda. Why the Muslims are not doing any propaganda during Diwali?
You've driven Tausifur Rahman to tears.
Why this is happening like this? I don't want to say any, I don't want any justice. I just want to say my name is Muhammad Tausifur Rahman.
Why are you pelting stones at procession? Yeah. I don't pelt stones at anybody.
Nothing is happening anywhere. Why? Especially this Ram Navami?
It doesn't matter who it is.
Kind of
Hindu or Muslim,
who are dancing on top
will
of
be punished. Your property will be confiscated and demolished.
They are not Hindus. They are not the
How
Ram
should it matter?
They are not the Shiv Pujaris.
So why can I not dance? I'm not going into your house.
They are Bhajpa. They are the RSS.
I'm not entering your house to dance. I'm dancing on the road. Does the road belong to you as well?
And this is
who does the road belong to? Is the road public property or not?
Who spits venom. I'm a
you
normal
want the
Muslim
right,
guy.
no,
I just want,
you want the right to
justice,
perform namaz
but I
on
don't
the
know
street. I
where to
cannot
go.
even take out
Should I
a
have justice
procession
from
in
the
my
court or
country.
should I have justice from
Am I a
Pradhan
second
Mantri
class
Narendra
citizen?
Modi? The Muslims will
Am
go
I a
where?
black South African in apartheid South Africa?
Sir, what are you talking, sir? What are you talking?
I
I'm
will
talking
not
about
reduce
justice,
myself
which
to
the Muslims are not getting now. Why
keep
this
that in
drama
mind.
is only happening during Ram Navami? Why this
Where is the justice in this?
who are
One
challenging
community
themselves to be
wants the right to
proclaimed to be
perform
a
namaz
Hindu?
on the road.
Tausifur Rahman, again, you are giving it a communal spin, saying, you know, I am a Muslim, I am not getting justice.
Yes,
Sir,
it's a
everyone
crime.
has access to our courts, and no court sees any communal color. They interpret the constitution. So please don't give it a communal color, where again the question being asked is, if the bulldozer is brought in, how does it become against the community? Suddenly you are saying, oh, you know, this is about making Muslims second-rate citizens. How?
No, but what justice is this? I'm not asking any justice.
Hindu or Muslim.
Muslims don't want any justice
It
anymore.
is about.
But what is this happening?
Okay, what is happening? Sandeep Ghosh wants to come in. Sandeep Ghosh.
That's what it is about.
Okay, just a second. Can I please have Sandeep Ghosh speak? Yes, Mr. Ghosh.
See, Padmaja, there is no way we cannot correlate this action which has happened in Khargaon with what happened in Ramnavami. Because this, if you go by the argument for a moment of the illegal construction did not come up on the day of Ramnavami. They have been around there for a long time. And if the state government had to take action, this government has been around for 20 years, it could have been taken earlier. Now they have done this, so obviously we cannot deny the correlation. The point is, equally there is no justification to say this is communal hatred, and when you attack the Ram Navami procession, that is not communal hatred. So it's the dangerous point is, are we getting into a tit for tat, eye for an eye kind of a situation? And what we are saying is, has it become competitive masculinity? Now, Charu Pragya was talking about UP. So is the lesson that, okay, in UP, having done muscular, bulldozer politics, you have been able to contain it. So here you're wanting to give out a signal that there is zero tolerance for this kind of actions.
Charu Pragya, is that the message? Basically, like we say in Hindi, jiski lathi, uski bhains. It's like jiski sarkar, uska bulldozer.
So that is the whole point. Whether Shivraj Singh Chauhan is now trying to
It's not about
reposition himself.
No,
from
can I?
Okay, Charu Pragya respond.
Can I speak without others speaking over me, please? See, first of all, a criminal is a criminal. It is unfair and completely wrong to paint them in colors of communities they belong to. Completely wrong. So a stone pelter should remain just that, and let's not look at communities. The second thing is, if Muslims are allowed to celebrate Eid and Roza and Ramzan and everything in correct spirit, why aren't the Hindus allowed to celebrate Ram Navami and take out their processions? So this is secularism in the real spirit, not pseudo-secularism that had been promised and talked about in the UPA government throughout. Another point, when the government ensures that those who are right-wing or committing a crime are paying for that crime, it deters many others from committing a similar crime in the future.
Deterrence, Sandeep Ghosh.
It's good governance.
It's deterrence.
it's a definite fine. You know, the point which you're making about this is absolutely okay. In terms of everybody has a right to celebrate that, festival. But I think the action can be taken in a much more civilized manner. But I think there is a level of overreach or overreaction.
Sir, what is a civilized manner? Like we kept Kasab in our jails for 4 long years and we looked after him. Is that a civilized enough manner for you? When we know who are the culprits, when we know what went wrong, why not take quick and swift action?
So you decide that whether you're going to demolish the houses. If the houses are being demolished because of illegal construction, action should have been taken much before. You don't have to wait for a Ram Navami procession, violence to go and start initiating the actions. But if you are saying you're taking the action as a retaliation to the violence, then the question is who determines what is the quantum of the action?
Raghav Awasthi, who will determine? The simple question is, and because you're a lawyer, it's about was there an overreach, a legal overreach? Sandeep Ghosh is saying you celebrate your festival, you even book people, jail people who are pelting stones. But this bulldozer is extra constitutional.
And if it is being done as a reaction,
no, there is no question of the bulldozer being extra constitutional. Charu Pragya ji spoke about a particular act, which is an operation. Now, if somebody is not satisfied with the action that is being taken, they can of course approach the courts for redressal under Article 226 of the Constitution. And as per the latest judgments of the Supreme Court in a writ petition, you can even get compensation if some kind of illegal administrative action has been taken. So the point is just this. In any case, sometimes expeditious action has to be taken, because otherwise there is a section of the Indian population which has a visceral hatred for the Hindu community. And as Asaduddin Owaisi stated, when he cited the Geneva Convention, there are many people who believe that in this country Hindus and Muslims not just constitute two separate nations. I think it is very important, to deconstruct what Mr. Owaisi said. The Geneva Convention refers to a situation where there are two nations at war. Which are the two nations that are at war in India according to Mr. Owaisi? But he thinks we are all illiterate here. He thinks we don't know how to read or write. Which are the two countries at war? People should mention. Is he saying that the Hindus and Muslims of this country are at war?
Okay, is there an overreach? Is there an overreach? And if that has happened, are the courts going to step in? Raghav Awasthi says that you should go to court if the action against the stone pelters' houses is illegal. Will the courts step in? We'll stick to the facts, but the fear-mongering in the name of calling it Islamophobia is that a concern for sheer politics and not justice. Thank you very much, all gentlemen, Mita Chakraborti and Charu Pragya, for joining me. Taking a very quick break. On the other side, big action taken by the Madhya Pradesh government against Digvijay Singh, former Chief Minister. Stay tuned to find out.